External confirmation. My students, I hope you remember the basic example here. We did the debtors example in the class. Okay. This example we had done. Okay. Let's start with this one by one. Let's go for it. What is the meaning of external confirmation? It's a direct written response to the auditor from a third party, that is a confirming party, in paper form or electronic or other medium. That is the meaning here. Question number one. Question number two. Question number two, we go to the content part. Do it with me. Be in flow. This was this question. What information can be confirmed using external confirmation? In this case, I told you this question is not there in the module, but I have included in our notes because it was there in the earlier syllabus. It can very well come as a very good question in the examination. We have done PINPA, correct? Property, investment, inventory, bank balance, bank borrowing, account receivable, accounts payable. Regarding these matters, examples of information to be confirmed. Question number three. We go to the big guns now, one by one. Let's start question number three. Question number three, we go to factors to be considered while designing confirmation request. What are the factors you'll keep in mind? First, sir, which assertion do we want to take external confirmation about? Sir, in that assertion, what is the risk of material misstatement? What is the problem that is occurring? Risk of material misstatement. So we know the matter, we know the problem. We know the matter, we know the problem. Now, with the matter and the problem, we go to the management and tell them, please give me the access to speak to your to the external party. So I will go and take management authorization. Management may not give the permission, then that goes to question number four. Wait for it. Management gives the permission, then we are doing the third point. So point number three is the management authorization. Next, we look at our prior experience of dealing with the management expert, that is, sorry, of dealing with the external party. That is point number four. We look out the layout and presentation should be proper. Point number five. We look at the method of communication. Point number six. And we look at the ability of the confirming party to respond. Even if I go and take the external confirmation, but if they are not able to respond, then what is the use? They should have the ability. That is point number seven. Simple to understand this area here. Sir, if management authorization is not received, then we'll inquire regarding the reasons why you are not giving me response. Their reasons can be valid and reasonable or not reasonable. Valid and reasonable, if it is there, then in that case, you are in a bit of a situation because you are not reaching the RL level. You're stuck. RL level is here. You're stuck in the middle only. But their reason is valid also. So you cannot debate with them. So you will look at the effect that it has, implication that it has on the risk of material misstatement and on the audit procedures. If you are still not able to reach the R level, then of course you have only one option. You will try to do alternative audit procedures. If alternative audit procedures works, great, you have reached the R level. If it doesn't work, sad, because now you'll go to the TCWG and communicate with them. If they are also telling, sorry, we cannot do anything in this situation, then you'll report as per 705. That is how the flow will be. Suppose if reasons are not reasonable, then you will report, then you will communicate with TCLUG, SA 260, and then report as per 705. That is your modified opinion. That is how we flow. Are you there with me, yes or no? Simple question, simple area. This is your question number four in this area. Yeah. Question number five. Let's start. Question number five was in relation to, I think it was at the end, evaluation of evidence obtained. Let's do this area. Sir, we take the confirmation from the third party. We asked, have you purchased goods worth rupees 5 crores? They say, yes, we have purchased goods worth rupees 5 crores. They are in agreement. That can be the first situation. Second, they say, no, what 5 crores? We have purchased goods worth rupees only 3 crores. So in our client's balance sheet, they are showing 5 crores. But confirming party, third party has given response of 3 crores. That difference between 5 crores and 3 crores, which is 2 crores, is called as an exception. It is called as an exception. Third, they have given the response, but they've said, please don't rely on our response. We have not done the fact checking from our side. What is the use of responding? That is called the response is unreliable. That will make me a little angry. And last is you have non-response. They have not responded. They have not responded. Easy to understand this part here. Okay. That completes your question number 5. Question number 6. Now we enter into the definitions. We go to the beginning. So let's go to this part here. Just give me a second. Bolo. What is positive confirmation request? When we tell the party that the request that we are doing is a positive confirmation request, whether they agree with the figure that we are given or whether they disagree, we are requesting them to respond. What is negative confirmation request? We are telling them and we are doing them a favor to save their time. We are telling them, see, if you agree with it, don't respond. If you disagree with it, only then respond. That is called as negative confirmation request. Next is a non-response. Non-response will be when, wait for this, non-response will be when the confirming party doesn't respond to a positive confirmation request or the confirmation request is returned undelivered. This second part, no students forget. It can come in MCQs. Confirmation request returned undelivered. Be careful about it. Exception is what exception we just saw. Sir, the matter regarding which we asked and the response that they gave, if there is a difference in that, that is called as exception. Easy to understand this area. Question number 7 in this chapter. I don't know whether you know. This is my favorite question because this is a thinking question. You must have marked it as star for sure or important for sure. Question number 7. Question number 7 is what? Sir, negative confirmation request. Which all conditions should be present? Which condition should be present in a code called red large? Red large is what? Sir, RMM is low. Only then that is the first condition for sending a negative conversion request. Second, exception rate is very low. What we thought, what we got. That exception rate is very, very low. What we thought, what we got is nearby only. So you understand here exception rate is low. Next is D. D is what? Sir, this is the super point. Auditor should be sure that the third party will not disregard the auditor. It means that the third party will open the email, read it properly, respect the auditor, and then if he doesn't respond, then we can be sure that he agrees with the matter. If we are very sure about a third party, we know when he will open the email, not disregard us, respect the auditor, open the email, and then after that, if he disagrees, he will respond. Regarding this, we should be very confident that the third party will not disregard the auditor. That is one very important point. This we have done in the class. Disregard. Last point is it cannot be, you cannot take negative confirmation request regarding one-off transaction of a huge amount. You should not. Maximum you can take it off is for large number of a small homogeneous account balances transaction condition. Large number of small means small in value, large in quantity, small in value. Homogeneous means similar transactions. For that, can you take it? The answer is yes. Are you there? We have done a code called red large. Perfect clarity till here. Okay, this is what we had done. This was basically in relation to, by the way, I hope you understand, we are not doing the explanation charts and all. Huh? So entire chart which I did for explanation, I am not revising those. That was for explanation purpose. We are doing a quick recap of the points. This is question number 7. Go to the last question. We had this very simple area called as positive confirmation request and blank confirmation request. So if amount is mentioned in a confirmation request, the third party may simply not verify before responding and say, 5 crores. Yes, confirm 5 crores. They may give such kind of response. So what we do is when we take confirmation, no, we give a blank confirmation request without mentioning the amount. So we say, please let us know the payment to be made to A Limited. We ask like this. In that case, you understand here, we are not mentioning the amount. Two things can happen. Good thing is confirming party, if they are sincere, they will do the background checking and then give us a response. So we are forcing the confirming party will check and then respond. Disadvantage is if that person is a lazy person, lower response rate will be there. He will not respond to our matter. Are you there with me? Yes or no? That completes this matter. Easy. That is basically for SA 505.